We know that Antonio Brown signed with the Tampa Bay Bucks. What's your reaction to this move? What do you think about it?
So, obviously, first things first, the big question mark is, can he get on the field? The best ability is availability, and that has been his biggest issue since leaving Pittsburgh. He went to Oakland. That didn't work out. The even scarier part is he went to New England with Belichick and Brady. If you can't figure it out there, I'm a little hard-pressed to believe you're going to figure it out anywhere. So that is my biggest concern, is can he get himself on the field? Is his mind in the right place? Which I've read it is. I have to see that happen first, because a lot of people were saying these same things that we're about to say now when he went to New England. And it's not like he went to New England and had no impact and got cut. He went to New England, played a great game against the Dolphins, was targeted at almost half the snaps he was on the field, and then got cut. Granted, there was off-the-field issues. Are the off-the-field issues ever going to go away? And that's going to be the baggage that follows him around the rest of his career until he proves otherwise. With all that being said, this guy, years ago when he was with the Steelers, he was in the conversations of, can this guy be the greatest wide receiver ever?
And his numbers, I think his first 10 seasons in the NFL were better than Jerry Rice's first 10 seasons in the NFL. So he's shown that he was trending towards that trajectory. And I agree with you. I think it's about his off-the-field problems, but I also believe that Tom Brady never wanted him to leave New England. I think it was more of a upper management Bill Belichick decision, and that's what I think pissed Tom Brady off, to him ultimately leaving the team.
And there was more before that. You could go back to even when Jimmy Garoppolo was with the team. If it was up to Bill Belichick, call me crazy, but he would have chose Jimmy Garoppolo over Tom Brady. But Robert Kraft made the decision that Brady was going to stay. Garoppolo had to go. And Belichick goes out and spitefully trades him to the Niners for a second-round pick when there was better offers on the table. But he sent Garoppolo to the Niners because he thought it would be a good place for him to succeed, and he wanted to see him do well. And I think that from there, that rubbed Tom Brady the wrong way. And I don't think him and Bill Belichick ever were on the same exact page, but they were good enough together to make it work that they had that legendary connection. And obviously now Brady's gone, and realistically, he's calling the shots down there in Tampa Bay. He brought Gronk in. Now he's essentially single-handedly brought AB in, and rightfully so. If you get a guy like that on your team at his age, you do anything that he thinks is necessary to win a championship. They have a small window, and like we said, if you can get Antonio Brown at the level that he was at, crazy to say this, but 2 years ago in 2018, it feels like a lifetime ago, but if you can get him back to that level, there is nobody in the NFL that can stop that offense.
I think even now, even without him being on the team, you can't stop that offense.
Yeah.
But with him being on it, there's no chance. That's why, even last episode, I said I think they're the best team in the NFC. I think without a doubt now people are getting on that wave. Oh, yeah, now they're going to be the best team in the NFC. But he just has to stay on the field, and I think that's going to happen. With Tom Brady being there, I think Antonio Brown stays in line, but I also believe he still has a court case pending, so he's totally not off the hook with that. We'll see how that goes. But Antonio Brown to the Bucks, if he can remain there, they're going to be dangerous the whole year. And I think they're going to win Super Bowl. So
you think about that offense. You could literally run sets where you would have Tom Brady out there with Ronald Jones, who's played awesome. If you want to run a 2 running back set, you'd have a Ronald Jones and Leonard Fournette out there. And then you could have 3 receivers, Antonio Brown, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, and then Gronk at tight end.
The only thing I don't like about the move is that my fantasy team is totally messed up now. I drafted Chris Godwin in one of my leagues. It's over for him. Mike Evans, I drafted him in another league. It's over for him. I've been trying to trade these guys, but nobody wants to accept my trade offers.
The other good thing about the deal for them is one of the biggest struggles for them so far has been health. When Evans has been on the field, Godwin has been out. When Godwin's been on the field, Evans has been out. So even if, they can't get the 3 of them on the field at the same time, it gives them the best contingency plan in the league. You have those 3 guys, any 3 of them could be a number 1 wide receiver for almost any team in the league.
And this goes to my next question. Was Tom Brady right for leaving New England? In my opinion, absolutely. Especially, we're going to talk about New England in a little bit. But when you look at okay, one, this is why I wish Riv was here. Because Riv was one of the main people that were saying Tom Brady's washed, Tom Brady's this. I knew he was never washed. Tom Brady was never washed. The team sucked. His receivers sucked. Tight ends sucked. In New England, they were not good. In Tampa Bay now, okay, he has 18 touchdowns in 2020. Last year, he had 24. We can say he's going to match 24 in the next 2-3 games? Yeah, he's probably going to exceed that, right? 103 quarterback rating right now. New England last year, 88 quarterback rating. And right now, he's playing at such a great level. Like, he's only had one interception in the last 5 games. This is a 43-year-old we're talking about. I think Favre started declining at, 41? And Tom Brady's still going? See, I think we looked at age too much with Tom Brady, and we thought he wasn't going to be this good, and we all thought it was Belichick. People disrespected Tom Brady, calling him a system quarterback. But now he's showing that he was a main component in that. You look at Cam Newton, even with his running ability, it's hard for them to win games.
Yeah, and I think that you mentioned it perfectly. Tom Brady jumped ship in New England as it was sinking. You look at that defense last year, it was one of the best in the league, one of the best in recent memory, but they lost pieces, and there was no way they were playing up to that level this year. And even then, when they got to the playoffs, they folded against the Titans, who everybody expected them to beat. Granted, the Titans over-exceeded expectations. It still isn't a game that they should have lost if they were the team that everybody thought they were. It had been a few years now that he hadn't really had any receivers outside of Julian Edelman, and realistically, Julian Edelman wouldn't be Julian Edelman without Tom Brady. And that system, as long as he was there, was never conducive to a superstar quarterback because, and I say this now, looking back on his career, we might never get the true answer to this, but based off of his play on New England, he never showed the athletic ability or the arm talent that a guy like Peyton Manning showed, in my opinion. But the offense just worked. He was great in the offense, and he did what he needed to do. And they had such a great system there that he never needed to do what Peyton Manning did, what Drew Brees has done with his arm. Now that he's going to Tampa Bay, I wish we could have seen him make this move earlier in his career, because even at 43 years old, he's making plays and throws there that I feel like we didn't really get to see him make in New England.
Yeah, I agree with you. But also, I think in New England, the only time we really saw him be this explosive was probably the year he threw 50 touchdowns with Randy Moss, his first year there. But outside of that, you're completely right. And the thing about it is that when you look at New England, when people look at New England, they think of them as having one of the best defenses in the league. It's remarkable that Tom Brady went from New England to Tampa, and Tampa right now is, can we call them a top 3 defense in the NFL? They're a top 3 defense in the NFL. I think they're a better defense than New England right now. So he went to a team that has a better defense and better offensive weapons. Mike Evans, Rob Gronkowski, Rojo Ronald Jones, Antonio Brown now, Chris Godwin, O.J. Howard when he was healthy, Cameron Brate. Now, a lot of people don't know about him, but he's good. I like Cameron Brate. So he's went to a team that's so much better on offense, but also so much better on defense. I think this was a no-brainer. This was the correct decision for Tom Brady to go there. And at first, I wasn't sure he was going to go. I thought he was going to go to like the Colts or like the Chargers, but this was the best decision for him.
Yeah, and there was definitely question marks at first. But when you look at it, almost every question you have had has been met with a positive answer. Ronald Jones was a guy who extremely underperformed last year, and he's bounced back and been what everybody expected him to be last year. And going to that offense at 43 years old, a Bruce Arians system, would he be able to still sling it? He has. He can still make those throws that we didn't really see that much in New England. And, are they going to be able to mesh? How's the defense going to look? Every question mark people had about them, myself included, they have stepped up to the challenge. And it's taken some time to get everything in shape, but it's a thing that I feel like we mention every week with a bunch of different teams, but I feel like their season will be looking a lot different if they had a whole preseason to develop this, but they're working through the kinks that they would have been working through in July and August now. And now they're hitting on all cylinders, and they are scary.
Yeah, Tom Brady leads the league in like the big time throws. PFF they record a stat big time throws. He leads them in that. I never questioned Tom Brady's arm talent. Like if you put on a film and you watched it, he always had a great arm. It was just about players getting down the field. Like last year, they didn't have anybody that could do that. Julian Edelman was their best receiver, and I think he's average at best. He has some 1,000-yard seasons in there, but he's pretty much average at best. He's not a top 10 wide receiver in the league. So, yeah, I think Tom Brady definitely, he made the right decision going to Tampa. And so far, it's looking like the Patriots lost in this scenario. Mostly because of Bill Belichick's stubbornness, you can say. Because he refused to pay guys. He refused to get this talent when he was asking him to get this talent. And I don't care, like, Bill Belichick wanted Jimmy G. I'm taking 43-year-old Tom Brady over Jimmy G right now.
Well, yeah, and Jimmy G has not panned out to be the guy that I feel like a lot of people thought he was going to be. And I still think he has that potential.
I don't, but I don't. I really don't. I don't see anything in Jimmy G. He's a good average quarterback, like a Kirk Cousins type. But if he can't be that superstar under Kyle Shanahan, he wasn't going to do it with Josh McDaniels. Like, if we're being honest.
Probably not. But the thing is, he wouldn't have had to be that in New England. I think he would have been perfect for New England because you've seen in San Francisco, he's not going to be a guy who's going to make crazy plays for you. He's not going to be a Drew Brees or a Peyton Manning type player where they're going to put you on your back and win games.
So you think Jimmy G with this New England roster?
Not this New England roster, but if he would. So when those issues came up with, the rumors about Tom Brady and Jimmy G, who's going to stay, who's going to go, if they had picked Jimmy G over Tom Brady, I think that they would have been successful, not as successful as they were with Tom Brady, but I think that they would have won the division, though, 2 years Tom Brady was there after Garoppolo got traded. I think that he would have been really good in that Bill Belichick system where you don't have to do too much. You make the smart throws because he's a smart quarterback, I feel like. I feel like he doesn't make too many bad mistakes.
No.
I just don't think that he makes that many plays that jump off the paper at you.